Hello everyone, this is HDSKSky here. I'm going to be casting a 1 versus 1 between the blue Zerg player spawning down the bottom right side. It is Iopayasin or Ayapasin or Yasin or something like that. Anyways, he's going to be the blue Zerg in the bottom right side. His opponent is going to be the purple Protoss spawning in the top right side. I actually don't know this guy's name. I tried looking it up, couldn't get it to work for some reason. So if you guys know what this player's name is, please let me know. And also if you can translate what they're saying, I always love to see what they're saying in the chat. So if you just post down below. Now, the map is one of the new ones called Tal'Darim Altar, and I will be talking about it in just a minute. But one thing I wanted to mention really quick is, number one, thanks to all the fans for helping me reach 400,000. That is awesome. I will hopefully have a 400,000 subscriber video for you, but it may be very delayed in typical Husky fashion. And number two, I wanted to mention, I don't think I've mentioned this in a video yet, I do have a Twitter app, and a lot of you have been using it already, and I thank you because it helps me out a lot. But the Twitter app just basically tells you on Twitter, so if you have a Twitter account, it'll tell you when I upload a new video, and it gives you a link directly to it. So it's just kind of a cool way, a cool little app. If you guys want to use it, I will post a description, or I will post a link to it down in the description. And it is kind of cool because it helps me out for letting my fans know the sooner I have a video, then you guys can check it out right away. So just link down below. Now, I do want to talk about this map really quick. It is, once again, a 4-player map, a very large macro Korean-style map. Your natural does have eight mineral patches. There is no expansion in the main base. However, there is another expansion directly to the left. Very easy to get down here, although you have to navigate this cliff, or you have to go all the way around this side. So this expansion is very oddly placed. There's very little room for maneuvering units around, as your command centers here. Only a little room up here and down here. So that is a potential third base, but the third base most likely to be taken is this expansion to the right side, which does have two entrances into it. There's an entrance right here, and then also a slightly site-blocked entrance over to the north. But this one only has, what is this, 5 mineral patches? So 3, 2, so there's 5, and 1 geyser there. So very low resource there. And our Protoss is apparently blind fast expanding here. He is actually getting his Nexus before Gateway, and then is going to go ahead and get a Forge to help him guard that. This drone's probably going like, WTF kind of build order is this? Apparently our Protoss is going to be blind expanding. I don't think I've ever seen that, but that's one thing about these new maps is that, number one, you can do different builds, and number two, since they're such macro heavy maps, the chances of your opponent actually rushing you are very slim because the strength of this map is playing out the macro phase. However, he is actually going to be expanding already, which is hilarious. He doesn't have any gas on the way yet, and his gateway is not even going to be done. The Forge has finished, so the probe will probably throw down a cannon just probably somewhere along this mineral, or not the mineral line, but the wall line that he has going on. Just got a fatty text message on the way from my phone. But you know what? I ignore the outside world when I am casting StarCraft. So our Zerg player, he's either going to have to try and out-macro him or try and rush him. He had a second queen queued up there. I think he meant to do it over here. Yes, he did. And so he does have that second queen started. A couple probes over here just to help block off any Zergling run-bys. I do like how the Protoss player, he's like, well, I'm doing this really crazy build. I need to make sure that I have vision of the map, and the only path between the two players is this watchtower, so that it'll see over that, and then this probe should be running away. Nope, probe's not going to run away. He's just sitting there completely dazed. Maybe his power was turned off or something, just kind of chilling there, and then ended up getting taken out. Now, I do have double gas right here. This will help the Protoss player catch back up in the gas that he should have, which right now he still has not put his probes inside that gas, but he does, however, have a nice little wall in going. He can block the, apparently canceling the pylon, but if he gets a Zealot out, I think that'll block it. It's going to be kind of a tight fit right there. I don't know if Zerglings will be able to get by. However, even if Zerglings could get by, there is, of course, that cannon right there. Our Zerg player is droning up really hard right now, getting 7 drones at the same time. So instead of trying to do an early all-in rush, he is going to be going for some drones. I think one thing that might be effective is if the Zerg player, well, number one, if he would have 6 pooled, he would have won instantly because he would have got there before the expansion was even started. But also, going for early roaches would be a good choice right now. However, he is going to try and out-macro the Protoss, so we should be seeing him expand pretty early for his third base, unless he wants to try and go base for base with the Protoss, which is not an ideal situation. This probe is going to slip out of here. He's going to try and make it all the way down just to see exactly what he can see down here. Which, if he does get there, he is going to see that layer tech on the way. Do we have a Roach Warren? I don't think we have one anywhere, as Zerg is going to continue getting more gas. He has 3 drones on this gas, but there goes Roach Warren right there. And he has a lot of gas on the way, actually, so he does plan to do something gas heavy. He does have 2 Evo chambers as well. Going to be going for those early upgrades. It's usually pretty good to get those upgrades as soon as you can. A Zerg player, especially on a macro map, if you can get them, they will pay for themselves extremely quickly. The Overlord moving in here is going to get taken out. Kind of an awkward angle for that Overlord to actually scout through. I think maybe attacking, or not attacking, but scouting from up here, you would have been a much better success. So right now our Protoss is throwing down 3 gateways and does have the 4th gateway down here, so kind of going for a 4-gate. No, just kidding. He has added a 5th gateway, and is this probe going to make another gateway? Okay, so we are going a Nexus before gateway into 6 gateway build. This is why I love these new maps. Very unorthodox play. And it does look, just looking at our production tab, our Zerg player got to be going for a Spire, which is, of course, why he got all of this gas. And he's just going to be sitting on that gas while that Spire is completing. And then just a bunch of Zerglings to fill in the rest of the mineral usage. We do have the +1 range attack on the way, potentially for those Roaches, should he actually decide that he needs them. And we have Warp Gate technology just now finishing, so all these should be upgraded into Warp Gates in a matter of seconds. There we go right now. Looks like he's actually individually doing it, and yeah, so those are going to be on the way. Now, I'm curious to see, is the Protoss player actually going to attack off of this? I'm assuming he's going to attack, because usually when a Protoss player goes for a fast second base, they actually go for a robotics facility, and they sit back for a while and mass up a massive army. But for now, yeah, he just warped in all of these sentries. He has a Zealot, and I think he may actually move out here soon. So it will be up to the Zerg player to react. Zerg is a very reactionary race, and especially in a situation like this, he just needs to get out as many units as possible. So our Zerg player, he does have actually not that much gas, as he has started Roach upgrades. And look at all these upgrades he got. This is multiple mutas that he's not going to be able to get here, as that Spire now is, oh, that's a cute little place to put an Overlord, just on this little pillar thing right there. That's very nice for Zerg. Kind of handy little trick right there. Anyways, it does look like our Protoss player going to be moving out. We don't have any Mutalisks on the way, as some of these upgrades may need to be canceled if he wants to get out enough units. But no, he is actually going to stick with getting these upgrades. The Roach upgrade just now finishing, so that will help him out a little bit in this battle. But right now he only has 9 Roaches on the way and is apparently almost supply block. Not quite supply block just yet, but he needs to make sure that he is able to get out enough units. I think, though, he actually will be supply blocked a little bit too much here. You can see he's actually kind of panicking here, because what he wanted to do was macro up just a little bit more and then get out those Mutalisks. But with nice force field placement, those Zerglings had a long way to run to actually get this round. The Roach is trying to come in here to help out, but so far it does look like more reinforcing stalkers are going to be able to take this out. Don't know if the Zerg player can actually react in time. As I said before, Zerg, a very reactionary race, did not have the right reaction. His reaction was getting 4 upgrades, which is not a good choice. I think this game will actually end pretty quickly. So, not the best game, but I do want to say, a lot of people were commenting that these large maps are always going to favor Zerg and always going to mean long macro games. So we just saw in this game, if you let something slip by, then you could be in a lot of trouble. So I'm not actually sure what they're talking about right here. Maybe that these Protoss, or these Zerg players, should have actually made some Mutalisks, but in this game he did not. Got a little overzealous there, got a little too comfortable, and that's one thing about Protoss, is you actually need to try and punish a Zerg who is going to be macroing. If you just go head-to-head, straight up macro. In StarCraft 1, it was pretty even when the armies would get maxed out, but in StarCraft 2, the difference is the inject larva. So if you get a couple of waves of injected larva drone count going, your economy is exploding, you get way ahead of any other race, and then you can get your army maxed out much quicker than any other race. That's if you go unchecked, you're making all drones at first, and then all attacking units. So statistically, if you're a Zerg player, you mostly, for the most part on these maps, you want to sit back and mass up as many units as possible, because honestly the Zerg wins that race every single time if they go unchecked. So it's up to the Protoss and sometimes Terran to actually harass that and prevent that from happening. This time we saw a Protoss player. He's like, you know what, I'm not going to sit back. I'm not going to play this game. I'm just going to make an entire army and march into the base. The Zerg's job is to scout that and be aware of the fact that, oh, maybe I shouldn't make 7, 9, 10, 20 drones at a time, and I should instead get some Roaches, get some solid defense going. I mean, you can see the Zerg player didn't even have any static defense to hold this off at all. And the thing about this base right here is that spine crawlers right here are going to guard this natural, quite easily. You could even put, you know, a spine crawler or something up here just in preparation for units running up this ramp, although I wouldn't recommend putting a spine crawler there. But just saying, spine crawlers in this area will guard this entrance and guard your main and your natural, which our Zerg player did not quite utilize there. He got a little comfortable, and again, that's a mistake that I think a lot of Zerg players will make, is sitting back, enjoying the ride, and then, you know, if the Protoss player kind of goes against that, you got to make sure to react. What button did I just hit? Apparently we just started this replay over, but one thing I wanted to watch was, did he actually get... I got to see this actually happen. This is going to be world's earliest Nexus, so we're currently at 1 minute. Pylon is on the way, and what time does he actually get out his Nexus? I'm just kind of curious here with the timing of this Nexus. I'm pretty sure that's the earliest Nexus I've seen. So he gets it at before the 3-minute mark in game time. He already has the Nexus on the way, which is a total blind Nexus. If we pause this really quick, the probe hasn't scouted the Zerg player yet. The way he scouted was the very last way. So a complete blind Nexus. I would not recommend doing this, but sometimes risks pay off. As that little tip on the loading screen sometimes says, expanding to nearby resource locations early can help your... It can sometimes be risky, but it can sometimes... Whatever the tip says. I don't read that stuff. But it tells you that if you expand early, you make more money. And mo money, mo units is what I always say. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, and go follow my Twitter app. Link down in the description.